right, thank you very much. Welcome to a special edition of Conversation P.A.C.E. I'm your host, Coach Nicole Rodriguez. Thank you. I love that. I love that energy. Give me more. Thank you, guys. So, Dr. Jason Karp is here. Dr. Karp has 2 new books out that I know all you runners out there are going to absolutely adore. So we have so much to cover. Let's get this party started. On your mark, get set. Let's start the conversation. Woo! Hey. High five. Woo! Woo! All right. Thank you. Yeah, let's have a seat. All right. So we have Coach Annie Go. Hi. And Pennington, our beauty expert. And the great Maria Solis from Latinos Run. Thank you for being here, ladies. So you may know Coach Annie from her segment, Annie on the Go. And how would you describe your show?
Well, I like to interview runners after they've done their races and they're in a good mood. I ask them goofy questions.
Okay.
And I get some goofy answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. Lots of goofiness going on there, but it's fun, right?
Yeah, you know, it's good energy. Everybody feels good. You know, it should be fun.
Yeah.
You know?
And we have Ann Pennington. You're our beauty expert.
I am.
And you're a new runner.
I am.
So you're here, and I bet you have a lot of questions for
So many
Dr. Karp,
questions.
right?
I was actually getting on the start with Annie,
Yep.
getting ahead of the game.
All right. And we have Maria Solis, and I know you are interested in the coach's certification.
Yes, definitely. I can't wait to talk to him and learn some more and become a coach.
Yeah, his certification is unlike any other run coaching certification out there. So
Amazing.
let's not wait. Let's get Dr. Karp out here. Everyone,
All right.
a round of applause for Dr. Jason Karp. Dr. Karp is here. High five.
All right.
Thank you. Have a seat. So, Dr. Karp, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
And you have this really, really great book out called The Inner Runner. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, from the time I started running track when I was a kid, not only did I become interested in the science of athletic performance and the science of running, but I became interested in the philosophy of it all. And so I wanted to write a book that addressed all the things that happen on the inside, the things that you can't see.
Right.
And so the emotional aspect of running, the philosophical aspect of running, the spiritual aspect of running, how you learn how to deal with discomfort through being a runner. So I wanted to take all of that and put it together in this book.
Yeah. Wow. And one of the things I know when I run, I get all these ideas. Like
Yeah.
I get inspired. For some reason, like my mind is clear when I'm running. It's like a form of meditation almost.
It is.
Right? So, yeah. In the book, you talk about a lot, the types of running. Like there's a healthy run, and what other types of runs are there?
Well, like solo runs and group runs and race runs and trail runs and treadmill runs, and so I go through each type of run and what it gives us as runners, what we give it to it and what it gives us.
And you have this confident run. What's that about?
Well, running, as a lot of people know, running improves your confidence. All you have to do is stand at the finish line of a marathon to see how this thing changes people's lives.
Right.
And so through running, people acquire this sense of accomplishment, because at first people have a very difficult time running. But then when they train, they see how much more they can do. That gives them a lot of confidence, and then you can take that confidence to other areas of your life.
Yeah, that's true. So it translates into your everyday life. I hear a lot of people talk about how even training, your approach to training is a good approach to life. I don't know, can you understand that concept?
Oh yeah, very much so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, running is a very pure sport, and the lessons that we learn through ourselves being runners, they're very easily translatable to the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back and talk about your other book that you have out. He has 2 books out.
That's amazing.
Just 2 books. Isn't that amazing? So when we come back, we're going to discuss your other book, the 14-minute workout, right?
Right.
All right. We'll be right back.
All right.
Woo! All right.
Hello, boys and girls. I want to read a significant section out of my book, The Inner Runner, but I don't want to give away too much because obviously I want you to buy the book. But book writing has never been about money for me. It's been about this deep passion that I have that I want to share with you. I want you to feel what I feel and be moved in some way. And so I want to take a few minutes and read the first full chapter of the book. It's only 7 pages long, so it'll only take about 10 minutes. So grab a cup of coffee or perhaps a glass of wine and sit back and relax and enjoy the first chapter of The Inner Runner. Why do we run?
Welcome back to Conversation P.A.C.E. So, you have another book, and we were just discussing, called The 14-Minute Workout. Tell us a little bit about a 14-minute workout.
Well, I wanted to take away the excuse because everybody makes excuses about lack of time being the main reason why they don't exercise. So I want to take that excuse away from people.
Yeah.
So I wrote a book that is a collection of all these 14-minute workouts that address all the components of physical fitness. So there's muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, cardio, sprint, everything with using equipment or using body weight. And so all the workouts can be done in 14 minutes or less.
Okay. So a lot of runners tend to neglect strength training, but we've all heard this term called the core. Everyone knows. You guys know about working your core, if you've ever heard working your core, right? So explain to us, what does it mean, core, and what is your favorite core exercise?
Well, the core is more than just your abs. It's your hips. It's everything in this middle area because that's where all the power comes from when we run or do any other kinds
Your
of
butt,
activities.
that's part of it too,
Yeah,
right?
your-
Or
your
should come from,
the
right?
gluteus
Yeah.
maximus is the largest muscle in our body. So that whole area around our middle is our core. And I actually take a different approach to strength training than most coaches and most runners.
Yeah.
If you want to be a better runner, you have to run.
Right.
But there are specific kinds of strength training that you can do as a runner. You can do hills. Hills is a great form of
Yes.
strength training for runners, and it's much better than going into a gym and doing squats or something more traditional.
Okay. Is it fair to say, because I say this a lot, your core, if you were to take a Barbie doll and take off the legs and pull out the arms, and what's left, well, the head, take that off too, what's left is the core?
Yes.
That's the core. That's your core.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my clients. So instead, and they want to do crunches to, you know, as a core exercise, and I'm like, no. There's more to your core than just,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow, I did not know all this.
your lower abdominals.
We need
So,
workout.
what is one of your favorite exercises for your core? Like
Hill running.
hill running.
Yep.
Running for core exercise.
So people seem to think that planks are a good exercise for the core.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of great exercises if you want to get a stronger core, but if the goal is to become a better runner, then something like planks is very static exercise,
Right.
whereas running is very dynamic. So you need to train the muscles in the way that you're going to use them when you run. So the movement should be very dynamic.
So why would you say hills though? Why hill like repeats whatever?
Because
Just
the
right
hill,
for the
well, the
best.
hills are a great form of strength training for all runners. The quads, the calves, even your core, the gluteus maximus. Anytime you oppose gravity, you're going to be using those muscles more. So
Right.
hill training is a fantastic strength training kind of exercise for runners.
And would you say that something like a plank would be a good core activation
It could be,
movement?
yeah.
Or like, not
Yeah.
movement, but
Yeah, I
something
mean,
to do
there's-
before the activity?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, there's lots of different specific core exercises a person can do. But in order for it to translate to becoming a better runner, then the exercises have to be more dynamic and more like the active running.
Yeah, okay. So back to your book, you have charts and graphs, I think, in there. So what are those about? What information do you have in
Well,
those?
all the workouts in this book are set up in tables so that people can easily read the tables and know what the workout is. And then for the strength type, power type exercises, each exercise is described with words, and then you have the picture of the model doing the actual movements, so people can follow along.
So what do you have? What information exactly do you have in the tables?
The tables are the actual workout. So for like the strength trainer, they'll tell you the exercises, the number of reps, the intensity, the amount of recovery.
Yeah, the amount of recovery.
Yeah, all of that is in the table.
Explain that to me. Yeah.
So whether you're training for muscular endurance or muscular strength, the recovery interval in between the periods of work is very important. So like for muscular endurance, it's more higher reps and a shorter amount of time to recover in between each set. Whereas for the muscular strength, the muscular power workouts, there's much heavier weight that you're lifting and much more time in between each set.
I like that he has the pictures in there. You can explain it's easy to follow along.
I think a lot of people don't understand too the difference between endurance training and strength training, and that explains it, the recovery period and how heavy you lift.
And then there's different kinds of it. There's muscular endurance and there's cardiovascular endurance. There's different kinds of endurance training.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, we're going to come back and talk about a book that you have called Run Your Fat Off. Who wouldn't want to know about this? Like, what do you mean by run your fat off? I mean, I know what you mean. But, and then there's something else that's in the making involving relations, sexual relations and running or exercise. Not running specific, but exercise. And what is it called?
Sex and exercise and sex.
And we'll be right back.
That's just, it's pretty literal.
We'll be right back.
Hey guys, I've been seeing a lot of nonsense on social media lately about weight loss, and everywhere I turn I see books that say stuff, and I hear these weight loss experts on social media. You know, social media has given a public voice to people who wouldn't otherwise have one. And so I want to set the record straight, and I want to simplify things for everybody out there. Weight loss is actually a pretty simple issue. It's just that people don't abide by the rules. If you don't abide by the rules, then you're not going to lose weight. A long time ago, there was a famous scientist, maybe you've heard of him, his name was Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein came up with an equation. That equation everybody has heard of, we all learned about in high school. E equals mc squared. The energy of an object equals the mass of that object times the square of the speed of light. The speed of light is a constant unless you go to outer space or you're underwater, so we can neglect that because that's not going to change. So energy equals mass. If you eat more energy, more calories than you expend, you're going to gain mass. If you expend more energy, more calories than you consume, you are going to lose mass. So weight loss really comes down to expending more calories than you consume. It really doesn't matter the combination of macronutrients that you eat. You can eat low carb, low fat, low protein, high protein. What really matters more is the number of calories you consume minus the number of calories that you expend. And that really is what weight loss all comes down to. Now, having said that, there are some tricks that you can play with because it's really all about the partitioning of calories, the direction in which those calories go. When you eat carbohydrate, do you want them to get stored as glycogen, which is the muscle's preferred fuel, or do you want it to get stored as fat? Well, that comes down to how much exercise you do and placing a metabolic demand. Because if you do a lot of exercise, then you severely lower your glycogen fuel tank. Think of glycogen as your gasoline. It's your gasoline tank. The more you exercise, the more you lower that gasoline, that carbohydrate fuel tank. So any carbohydrate that you consume through your mouth is going to go to fulfill the metabolic demand of replacing the lost carbohydrate because it is threatening to the muscles to run out of carbohydrate. It is a metabolic demand. It is a metabolic priority to refill the tank. And so by exercising a lot, you become the director of where those calories go. You become the director of the calorie movie. And all the carbohydrate that you consume will go to replace the lost carbohydrate through exercise. Now what happens if you don't exercise? Your carbohydrate fuel tank is always full. And if the carbohydrate fuel tank is always full, then guess where the carbohydrates that you consume are going to go? That's right, they're going to go to your belly and your left and right butt cheeks. And they're going to get stored as fat. Now who wants that? Nobody wants that. So you have to create the metabolic demand. It's the same thing with protein. If you always do workouts to slightly damage muscle tissue, because that's how your muscle gets stronger. You cause microscopic damage to the muscle fibers. Any protein that you consume is going to go to repair that damage. Also, the more you work out, the more you send a signal to make some kind of proteins. That's how we adapt to training. It's all protein synthesis. If you do a lot of running, a lot of aerobic exercise, then you stimulate the synthesis of mitochondria and aerobic enzymes. Conversely, if you do a lot of heavy strength training, you stimulate the synthesis of more muscle contractile proteins, actin and myosin proteins. All of the adaptations that we make, it's all protein synthesis. So what happens to all the protein that you consume? The amino acids from that protein is used to synthesize new protein, and you either increase your strength or your endurance or whatever the case may be, whatever you're targeting, whatever you're trying to focus your training on. So all of this comes down to creating a metabolic demand. If you don't have the metabolic demand, which you get from exercising a lot, then everything that you eat, regardless if it's a protein or it's a carbohydrate or if it's a fat, it's going to get stored as fat because there's no metabolic demand. So that's really the simple version of this. I put all of this in my new book that comes out in March, Run Your Fat Off. But I wish people would just listen and read this stuff and stop being enamored with all of these weight loss experts that you see all over social media or all the books that are in the bookstore, because most of it's garbage. Anybody who tells you that you can lose a pound a day is lying to you. It takes about 3,500 calorie deficit compared to what you consume minus what you expend. You need a 3,500 calorie deficit just to lose 1 single pound. So think about that for a minute. Anybody with half a brain can figure this math out. It's like 3rd grade math. So I'll do it for you just to help you out here, because I want you to understand this so much. If the average American diet, all those food labels that you read on all the food labels, they're based on a 2,000 calorie diet. So say you have the average diet of 2,000 calories. 2,000 plus 3,500 is 5,500. So that means to lose 1 pound a day, you would have to expend 5,500 calories and consume 2,000. Now, how are you going to do that? You would have to run all day long, and even that wouldn't be enough. You burn about 110 calories per mile, so calculate that out, how many miles that is. That's not realistic. How are you going to lose a pound a day? How are you going to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? The drastic measures that you would need to lose that much weight that quickly is not a sustainable measure. You can't sustain those drastic measures for the next 20 or 30 years. And that's why if you try to lose weight that quickly, you're going to gain it back. Because what it took to gain weight that quickly is not sustainable for the rest of your entire life. And why should you lose weight if you're not going to sustain the weight loss? That's like telling somebody to stop smoking but then start again next month. Don't stop smoking if you're just going to start again. That's pointless. Don't lose weight if you're just going to gain it back. That's pointless. The goal is to lose weight for the rest of your entire life. So I could go on and on about this. The video I see is already 6 minutes long, but I'm trying to simplify this for you. If you want to lose weight, the research shows that sustained weight loss occurs at about half up to 2 pounds per week. Then that's because the strategy that you use to lose weight at that rate is a sustainable strategy. It's something you can do week after week, month after month, year after year. Losing a pound a day is not a sustainable strategy. You would have to exercise all day long and practically starve yourself to get the enormous caloric deficit that you would need. Remember that number, 3,500. It changes a little bit depending on your exact body weight, your starting point, because as you lose weight, metabolism starts to decrease, and then the number changes a little bit. So it's not always exactly a 3,500 difference to gain or lose a pound. But for all intents and purposes, you can say it's that. So even if you eat 1,500 calories, that means you would need to expend 5,000 calories a day in order to lose 1 pound a day. That's not going to be possible. So do it the smart way. Exercise a lot, eat a little less, cut maybe 300, 400, 500 calories out of your normal diet. So if you're up to 2,000 calories, consume about 1,500 calories. And then do smart exercise. Do exercise that uses a lot of muscle mass, that places a demand on your body, that burns a lot of calories. And that's how you lose weight. There's no magic to it. There's no secret. Everybody acts like they have a secret. There's no secret to weight loss. It really is burning more calories than you consume. So there you go. I just gave you a gem. Use that the rest of your life. Share this with all your friends, and everybody in America will lose weight. And all over the world. Why stop in America? Let's do this. Let's take this international. Let's make it all over the world. So there you go. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Jason@run-fit.com. Don't forget the dash there. Jason@runfit.com. And I'll see you later.
Hello, guys. guys, and welcome back to the show. So now we're going to talk about your book, Run Your Fat Off, and the other book you have coming out. First, let's talk about getting this fat off our body.
Well, running is the best calorie burner of any exercise. And with all the weight loss books on the market, none of them have addressed running as the way to lose weight and keep it off.
It's true.
And there's plenty of research to show that the more people run, the less they weigh. So running is very closely tied to how much you weigh. And because running has this huge metabolic demand, it creates the demand so that anytime you consume calories, they go into storage of fuel that you use when you run rather than storage of fat, which is what people want to avoid. So running makes you the director of the calorie movie because weight loss and prevention of weight gain is all about the partitioning of calories. In order for the calories to not go to your left butt cheek and get stored as glycogen or carbohydrate fuel, you have to create this demand for that to happen. And the way you create that demand is by running many times per week or every day if you can.
Right.
And it's the same thing with protein. Protein is used to synthesize new protein. That's the way we adapt. It's all protein synthesis. And so if you have a reason to adapt, if you're doing all these workouts and you force your body to make these adaptations, then any protein that you consume goes to fulfill that metabolic demand rather than get stored to your right butt cheek.
Right.
And so running, because it requires so much energy to do, it creates this huge metabolic demand so that whatever you eat goes to fulfill those metabolic demands rather than get stored as fat.
Okay, so explain to me, how is it that if running burns so much fat, burns through calories, how is there overweight runners? Overweight runners run marathons.
Because they overcompensate.
Okay, talk
so
a little
people
bit about
underestimate how many calories they burn when they run, and they overestimate how many calories they burn when they run. They underestimate how many calories they're consuming.
Right.
So while it may take a half an hour to burn 300 calories, you come inside your home and you can get that back in a matter of seconds with a glass of Gatorade and a handful of pretzels.
Yep.
So what takes a very long time to burn calories comes back very, very quickly without even people thinking about it. It happens almost automatically. People don't even think that they're consuming these extra calories.
Especially when they come back, the first thing you do when you finish a run is,
You
I'm going to
consume
eat more now
calories.
because I just burned those calories.
That
And
seems to
especially-
happen a lot to like beginner runners. They always say, you know, oh, well, now that I'm starting to run, I could eat a lot more.
Right, exactly. They think it gives them carte blanche to have whatever they want. Especially nowadays that running is becoming such a community. People will gather for these marathon training groups. They'll do a 16-mile run on a Saturday, and then they go all out for a pancake breakfast right afterwards. And so they get all the calories right back.
Right.
And so the real hard thing to accept about weight loss is that you're going to have to accept that hunger is a necessary side effect. Because you have to burn more calories than what you think is a lot of calories and not replace them. And the more you run, the hungrier you get. So you have to accept that you're going to be hungry at least some of the time in order to get the weight off.
Any tips for that? Because I'm a beginner runner. That's what I'm experiencing right now.
Well, that's where you can start to play a little bit with the macronutrients. Like, you know, even though the combination of macronutrients isn't as important as the total number of calories that you consume, but something like protein keeps you fuller for longer.
Okay.
You know, and that's why, like, even though sugar is the muscle's preferred fuel, if you have 2 chocolate chip cookies versus a kale salad, well, they may be the same amount of calories, but the kale salad is going to keep you fuller for longer. You have 2 chocolate chip cookies, and you're going to be reaching for a third, because the 2 chocolate chip cookies aren't satiating.
So would you suggest eating before? Because I have this conversation all the time with runners. I like to eat before I run. Most of them don't.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to eat too close to the time that you're on, but yeah, it's better to have at least some small breakfast, and if you're going to run first thing in the morning, to have some small breakfast before you go on a run, because that'll give you more fuel for that run, and the run can be of higher quality.
Okay. Because most of them say they don't eat anything, and that's, you know.
Well,
and then they're even more hungry for their brunch or whatever their lunch.
I've done fasted running, intermittent. What is it called?
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah. There's a name for it. So I've done that. I've worked with,
Well, there's an argument where,
I've worked out hungry. I've ran if I'm losing weight, then that's what, I'm going to burn more calories. The idea is to burn more calories than you take in.
Right.
So that hunger pain is a feeling you just got to get over.
I feel sluggish sometimes.
You just got to get over it.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about the running, all this exercising that we do. How does that play a part in the bedroom?
Please do tell. Please tell.
That's what I want to know.
Talk to us.
Ooh la la.
Well, I started running when I was a kid, and maybe the second day I started running, I became a philosopher about running, and also in addition to being a scientist. And I've been interested, like a lot of people, I've been interested in sex for a very long time.
Oh, really?
Both sex and running are perhaps the best expression of our physicality as human beings. We have to have both. We evolved to run, and of course we have to have sex for the species to survive and to have the next generation. Without sex, our species will discontinue. And so I wanted to merge these two things about exercise and sex. There's plenty of research to show that exercise improves your sex life, and sex can improve your exercise life. And so that's what gave me the idea for this next book that I'm about to start writing. That'll come out sometime toward the end of next year.
Okay, we can't wait to read that book.
My husband just bought it. I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dr. Jason Karp, CEO of Run Fit and creator of the Revolution Running Certification Program. Here are 9 reasons why you should get certified. Number 1, the Revolution Running Group Treadmill Interval Workout Program. Imagine a bunch of people from inside the gym on the most popular piece of cardio equipment, the treadmill, being coached through a science-based, deeply inspirational workout that is not only going to change their waistlines, but change their lives. It'll be the most effective workout that they get inside of the gym, and you can teach it because the license is free to teach the class. So imagine that the treadmill meets spinning, but a whole lot better because of how much more effective running is. Number 2, money. These treadmill interval workouts can be spun off into many other revenue-generating programs inside the gym. For example, you could have training groups, training programs for upcoming races, like upcoming half marathons and marathons, where you can meet at the front door of the gym a couple nights a week, take people on runs, and then these group treadmill workouts can be used as the quality workouts of the program. And of course, for these programs, you can charge people. They're fee-based programs. You can charge people for the programs. The other thing you could do is have programs for high school athletes during the summertime when they want to get fit for their fall sports. Because as every high school coach in America knows, running intervals is the best way to get fit. So athletes in all sports run to get fit. That's another fee-based program that the gym can do. So there's lots of ways that you can make money from this certification and workout program. Number 3, the Revolution Running Group Outdoor Training Program. When you get certified, if you want, you can become a franchise owner and own your own small business where you take groups of people and run your own outdoor group program for upcoming races. And I've created exclusivity with this program, so nobody within a 50-mile radius of where you're running the program can also run the same program. So you get certified. I will give you all the materials to get the group off the ground, all the marketing materials and all the support that you need, and then you can have your own group training program wherever you live. Number 4, popularity. Running is the most popular exercise in North America. There are 20 million people that run a race in the US alone. And when you add up all the other countries where they're running races, you have tens of millions of people around the world running races. No other activity comes close to that. Number 5, expert. When you become a running expert, you become a fitness expert because running is all about fitness. It's all about physiology, it's all about biochemistry. So when you study running, even though people think it's just running, when you study running, you become a fitness expert. And the lessons that you learn from running can be transferred to any other kind of training as well, because now you've become a fitness expert. That's pretty empowering. Number 6, weight loss. Running is the most effective way to burn calories and lose weight. And that's why I wrote a whole book about it. My last book, Run Your Fat Off, talks all about running for weight loss. And since the number 1 reason why people hire personal trainers is to lose weight, it helps to know something about running. Number 7, CECs. When you get certified with Revolution Running, you get a whole lot of CECs from all these other organizations. You get the entire 2 years worth of CECs for ACE, NASM, AFA, PTA Global, World Instructor Training Schools, and USA Triathlon. And each year I'm adding more organizations into the program. So there's more CECs than any other program out there. Number 8, education. As you see those 3 diplomas on the wall, I've got a lot of education. I'm very proud of that. And I can give you that education for practically free, for the very little amount that the certification costs. That's a spit in the bucket. That's a very small amount of money to get the very best education in the fitness industry. I have 3 degrees in exercise science from the best schools in North America because I took great care of where I went to school to study this. I have 8 books written and over 400 articles published in publications all over the world. I'm the 2011 IDEA Personal Trainer of the Year Award winner. I will give you all of that. All of that is inside of me. I will give you as part of this certification program. There is no other certification program that you can be a part of that is backed by this much science, this much education. And so when I tell you that you will get the very best education in the fitness industry with this program, I mean it. You'll get 7 manuals for the course if you do it as a home study course. If you do it as a live course, you'll get the 7 manuals, plus you'll get me as the funny instructor of the course. And number 9, master trainer. If you want to make even more money, you can become a master trainer and teach the course yourself, and I will pay you to teach the course. You can do it where you live, or you can even travel and do it in other parts of the country or around the world, wherever you'd like to teach it. But then you can become an ambassador and spread the passion, spread the education of running throughout the fitness industry. So there you go. There is 9 reasons to get certified. I can recap if you want me to recap. They're right here on my computer screen. I'll do it again. Number 1, you become the instructor of these fantastic group exercise treadmill interval workouts, the best thing that is going on inside the gym, the most effective workout that members will get. Number 2, money. It's a chance to make a lot more money by being a part of this program. I'll personally show you how to make more money. Number 3, the group outdoor training program. You can become a franchisee owner and run this group outdoor program where you live. Number 4, popularity. Running is the most popular exercise around the world, and so it pays to become an expert on the world's most popular exercise. Number 5, expert. When you become a running expert, you become a fitness expert because running is all about fitness. Number 6, weight loss. The number 1 reason why people hire personal trainers is to lose weight, and running is the most effective way to burn calories and lose weight. Number 7, CECs. You'll get a ton of CECs with this program. Number 8, you'll get the very best education in the fitness industry. And number 9, a chance to become a master trainer and make even more money and spread your passion of running in your local community or even wherever you want to teach it around the world. So I hope you become a part of this program. I am deeply, deeply passionate about this. Running has been a huge part of my life ever since I was 11 years old, and I want to share this with you. So you can register on my website, run-fit.com, and either register for the home study course or come and attend a live course. There's a list of live courses on the website as well, and I really hope you become a part of this.
All right, welcome back to the show. So we just finished talking about sex with Dr. Jason Karp. So we want to talk more about your coaching certification. So you have created your own Run Coach certification. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, despite the fact that running is the most popular exercise in the world, and it is so effective for weight loss, yet the fitness industry has largely neglected it. And even though there's a certification for practically everything else in the fitness industry, there hasn't been something on running. So a few years ago, I developed this certification program that covers everything about running, the physiology, the technique, running your fat off, how to design workouts and training programs. And so I've already had all these books written, so I figured I'd take the information from the books and create these manuals for the certification course. So it could be done either as a home study course or as a live course.
Genius.
And so we're in 16 countries already and growing. I'm growing this as fast as I can around the world.
Congratulations. That's awesome. So Maria is...
I want to be a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I have lots of runners that want to also be coaches, so Like, what do we do? Is it a take-home? Is it online?
Yeah, you can do it as a home study course. There are 7 manuals for the course, or I also
Okay.
have live courses that I'm scheduling around the country and around the world.
Great.
And then the test is on the website. You take the test, you pass, you get the certificate, you get continuing education credits for all these other personal training organizations.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And then,
And you also get to be called a coach. Instead
right,
of just,
you're a
yeah.
certified coach, certified trainer.
Yeah.
Very good.
And you're educated. So
Right.
now you know how to talk to your runners.
Right.
And I am impressed with people who are group run leaders, I think that's what it's
Yeah.
called, who take that extra step
be a
and
coach.
and get certified to become a running
Yeah.
coach. I think, yeah, that's a great
Definitely
idea.
gonna sign up and
Yeah, you're awesome, Maria. Thank you. Because there are a lot of run groups, especially
People
here in
aren't
New
coaches.
City, who are
Certified.
not, who don't have any coaches around. So
Yeah.
I commend you.
Thank you.
So next time you'll be coach.
Yeah, next time I come,
Yeah.
I'll be coach and
Yeah.
I'll go through your
Awesome.
program. I mean, how long is the program anyways?
The live course is 8 hours one day.
Okay.
The home study, I mean, that could take as fast or
Yeah.
as long as it takes you to read all
Okay.
the stuff and study it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that running is running. What do you need to know about running? But because there's no implements, because it's just you, it's very pure. Running is all about physiology. It's all about biochemistry. And so that's why I always tell people in the fitness industry, if you want to be a fitness expert, you become a running expert.
Yes.
Because
A lot of
running will
injuries.
teach you about fitness.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll understand the physiology, how to design workouts, and how to design training programs.
Okay. And what I like about your program that's different from the other running coaching certifications out there is that you have to be, these running certifications expire. So you have to renew your certification, right?
Yeah, so I have a whole library of continuing education courses that people can sign up for on my website, or they can take a course from another provider, but every year they have to take a course to renew the certification.
Yeah, because things change. Science, there's
Sure,
this thing
right,
called
yeah.
science, and things are
Yeah.
being discovered all the time.
Right, we're always learning.
Right.
So it's just like other industries.
Right.
You know, a car mechanic has to educate themselves, a dentist has to educate himself or herself, and a plastic surgeon has to stay educated, and so just like every other industry, this should not be any different.
Right.
You see a lot of runners, especially that don't have a certified coach, who have injuries constantly. You know, I'm always seeing runners that are coming to us, leg injury, hip injury, foot
Yeah.
injuries. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
who
most
told them?
injuries,
Yeah.
most injuries happen because of improper training.
Right.
Yeah.
If you train with intelligence, there's no reason why you need to get injured.
I think it's also because people don't seem to understand that when you run for a sport, it's different than
Right.
running for a bus. You know,
Right.
it's the mechanics for it is all different.
Right.
I'm starting to learn this.
Yeah.
We do run for buses here and trains.
Yeah, but there's a difference between running for the bus and running
New
in
York
the
City,
marathon
I'm a
race.
sprinter, like professional. I'm like, I'm gonna get it.
Okay. All right. And we are going to come right back with more from Dr. Jason Karp.
Yes, we're dancing.
All right, guys. I want to thank you for letting us bring you up to speed at Conversation P.A.C.E. But before we do, we have some special guests in the house.
Tune in next week to Conversation P.A.C.E. to check out me, Aisha Mirza, model and runner here in New York City, and what we have to say.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And all the beautiful, beautiful pageants that we have here. Thank you guys for coming to the show. We have 9